Thanks for coming out today, everybody. Great presentation so far. So we're going to switch gears a little bit here from the multifamily residential to talk about some commercial real estate, and specifically, as Cynthia said, self-storage and express auto wash. We're nationwide. I'm just going to... Like everybody, we'll get this thing. Taylor even showed me the right button to push. There we go. Get the formalities out of the way here quickly. So again, this is not an offering document. If you do have interest, please refer to our OM for full offering details. So who are we? Nationwide is a wholly owned subsidiary of Cato Bancorp. Cato has been structuring investment products for Canadian investors for well over 15 years, both in the institutional channels and more recently the private market or exempt market channels. So, we team up with great partners like Integrated-Equities, which Cynthia, Austin, and Taylor are teamed up with. So we raise capital through these channels. We've done it successfully over 15 years, funding both projects that are prospectus-based and offering memorandum-based. So our mandate hasn't changed. We put together great investment documents and then surround ourselves with best-of-breed partners to execute on those investment mandates. So I want to just take you through, tell you a little bit about what we've done to date. We're a local developer. These projects are really right here in Metro Vancouver, except one which is up in Kamloops, and we'll talk to that. So, back in 2012, we were looking for real estate opportunities. We looked at multifamily, we looked at all sorts of commercial deals out there. Our mandate was to find something that could produce strong growth, had solid cash flow, had stability up and down in the markets. And for us, at the end of the day, we found two that we loved, and that was self-storage and express auto wash. So we went out to the markets, we raised capital for our first project, $16.5 million. Took it through permitting in the city of Vancouver. As you heard from Graybrook earlier, the city of Vancouver is not much better to work with on a planning and permitting point of view. It takes time. You need a team of specialists around you to get through that process to make sure that you get to that development phase. We're pleased to say that we put up a state-of-the-art 58,000, just under 60,000 square foot self-storage facility right on the corner of Clark and Hastings on East Pender Street. We were the first in the BC marketplace to sort of pair technology with the tried and true business of self-storage, and that was by adding the no-key system. So we did away with the old lock and key formats that you'll be familiar with in self-storage. We went to new technology where, clients have an app on their smartphone that electronically opens their lockers, or they have a key fob that works as well. So that's been very well received. And again, it improves our efficiencies in terms of operating the self-storage facility. We opened in December of 2019. Something happened in March of that year, just after we opened. We won't talk about that anymore, but we're pleased to say that we've driven occupancy up to just over 62%, which is a great result in the market that we've just been through. We currently added what we call sky lockers. You'll see from the pictures, those are the top lockers above the main floor ones. We added 281 sky lockers to the facility. It maximizes the net rentable space, and we're now continuing to drive occupancy in that facility. So again, our first project, state-of-the-art self-storage. Our model changed slightly from project one into project two. So we came across a fantastic piece of land right on the corner of Boundary and Lougheed, a stone's throw from Brentwood, perfect for the development of self-storage. But we also wanted we had watched this model in some competition expand nicely. We wanted to add the express car wash to the storage model. We found that the car wash business brought a much quicker profitability level to the overall project. Once you turn the car wash on, and we'll talk about this more, it's really profitable from day one. Whereas you can appreciate the self-storage takes a little bit more time to lease up. So the combination of the two businesses for our model worked very, very well. So I'm pleased to say, and this is what Cynthia was talking about, we've just completed construction on our Boundary facility. It is a one-of-a-kind facility in North America as it stands today. It's the only one with an embedded car wash on the ground floor level. So as you see from the picture, it's 5 floors of storage above an 80-foot express car wash tunnel, all state-of-the-art. So we have all the car wash features that you can possibly buy in today's marketplace, and that's our target market. We're after owning the upper end car wash market, not really competing against all the gas station car washes that you see out there. So state-of-the-art facility, we're very pleased to be opening in mid-November. Stay tuned for information coming out from Cynthia and team on a tour, if anybody's interested, once we open, and an electronic marketing campaign where we will be sending out some coupons for free car wash. So every time we open a car wash facility, we run for approximately 7 to 2 weeks by donation, and we donate all that revenue to a charity, which we choose. Up in Kamloops, when we opened, it was the hospital fund. We still haven't decided exactly what that will be here in Vancouver, but we want to include everybody in on that campaign where please come by and see us and test it out firsthand. Our third project, not in timeline order, but we call it Nationwide 3, was up in Kamloops. So we built a self-storage facility, standalone, and a standalone 160-foot car wash tunnel. And this is really where I'm going to drill down a little bit for you on car wash and the metrics. So we opened the facility in July of 2020, and based on the strength and profitability of the car wash, we were able to pay a client distribution only 6 weeks after opening. And what that really meant is that both businesses had got to a cash flow perspective that was positive. So we were generating positive cash flow only 6 weeks after the opening the doors, really entirely on the profitability of the car wash. So if we drill down a little bit and we look at Kamloops, before we opened, we had an independent feasibility study done, which we do on all our projects. And that showed, if after the first year of operation, you guys do 250, 300, 350 cars in a good, better, best scenario, we think you'd be doing fantastic, and that operation is going to be profitable. Well, I'm pleased to say that since opening back in July of 2019, Kamloops has done an average of 414 cars per day. And since January of this year, we're averaging 458 cars per day. So well above that projected level. And this is in Kamloops. Kamloops has a population now of just over 100,000 people, much less than the car wash tunnels and the demographics that we see in the Metro Vancouver marketplace. So what we love about the car wash marketplace is the next point, that the break even on a daily basis is about 150 to 160 cars. That includes labor, utilities, and everything in the car wash. So it's highly profitable. And as I said earlier, it starts to generate really early stage cash flow. And that's what we love about the model. So combined, we were very successful in getting clients to an early stage distribution point of view. And I'll talk about this in our investment modeling in a second, but really based on the success of the car wash. So our fourth project is out on King George Boulevard in South Surrey. You might have seen it. It's under construction if you've driven by that way. Again, it really mirrors Kamloops. It's a standalone self-storage facility, 80,000 square feet, 2 basement floors, 3 above ground floors, and again, a standalone 160-foot car wash tunnel. So the framing's basically done for the storage, and we've got all the below ground equipment in the car wash tunnel. So framing will start there. We're on track to open at the end of Q1 2023. And I'm pleased to say this project is, as it stands today, on schedule and on budget, which for us is a great result and a testament to our partners in today's build environment. Last but not least, our 5th project, we again went to a slightly different model in that we found a property too small for the development of a combination storage and car wash, but perfect for the development of a standalone car wash tunnel. This is out in Coquitlam on Lougheed Highway, basically right across from the IKEA on the highway. So high traffic location, as you can see from the rest of our properties, all great locations from a traffic flow point of view, visibility point of view, and accessibility point of view. And that's what we're looking for a successful auto wash and self-storage. So long story short, we've just received our build permit from the city of Coquitlam. Construction is now underway. That'll be a 10 to 12 month build period. And once we open the wash facility again, we would expect that we are going to generate really quick profitability through the tunnel and drive investor distributions quickly after that fact. So I want to move on and just show you maybe in a little bit more detail what our offering looks like for Nationwide 6. So we're raising capital as it stands today. We're raising up to $20 million for the development of an express car wash tunnel and or self-storage facility. We have different trust unit prices. Seeing that we just launched this project, we are still selling at the $90 trust unit price. So that's what we consider our discounted unit price. Our standard price is $100. And why is it discounted? Well, it really is discounted because the property for this offering hasn't been vended in, identified to date. Once that occurs, that trust price unit is going to jump up to the $100 mark. Why the difference? Well, it does affect the investor return. So, and I'll talk to that in a second here. The minimum subscription amount is $25,000. It is private equity, so redemption is limited on, an ongoing basis. It is hardship clauses written in, but like many of the opportunities, because we're investing in development, we don't see a lot of liquidity to sort of that 3-year mark. So how is our investment structured? There's really 3 key components. So the first is an annualized preferred return. And that's what I was talking about. At the $90 trust unit price, that preferred return is currently 8%. What does that mean? Well, the 8% really is a high watermark for investors. Okay, until they've reached an annualized 8% return over the lifespan of the investment, the issuer, Nationwide, does not participate in any of the profitability. So we feel that's good alignment with investors, especially those that are coming into the project early. So over and above that, then there's a profit share. So once investors have received their preferred return, there's a 70-30 split on any profitability above that, 70 to investors. And that's how us, the general partner, starts to earn our money. Right? We have to get the projects through development. We operate them on a daily basis. We drive revenue. We maximize the profitability, and then we share in that profitability only once we have gotten to those stages. And that 70-30 split, of course, includes the capital appreciation on exit that we can generate through the development process. So where are we targeting for this opportunity? We've got 3 markets, I guess, that we love specifically for car wash, and that's the Surrey-Langley corridor here in Metro Vancouver, and we really like the Greater Victoria area on the island, and just outside. You heard Langford mentioned earlier in a presentation. Love that opportunity. Just their growth markets. They're underserved for both self-storage and car wash, and we feel offer great opportunities to get into them. So we do run operational businesses quickly. We do use social media to market our businesses. We are staying current, and investors and users of our businesses can follow us online. So what are we seeing in the auto wash tunnel these days? Well, technology has allowed really more cars per hour to be washed at a better quality, at a better dry rate. And technology has really advanced these tunnels to a state where we're really seeing the model shift from do it at home, wash your car at home in your driveway, to using express car wash tunnels. Environmentally, we talk about that. There's big savings too. But price points range from around $10 to up to $20 plus add-ons. Again, when you think back to the number of cars we have to wash on an average to break even, the profitability per car is very, very high in these car wash tunnels. So technology has allowed us to change our business. On a 160-foot tunnel, we can wash, dry, seal up to 180 cars per hour. Okay, we don't really ever get there. That's kind of a hypothetical if they were all lined up. But just as an example, in Kamloops, our best day is 1,100 cars. And that's in Kamloops. So, we're generating significant cash flow from those operations. Environmentally speaking, it's important. The municipalities, as we go to apply for permitting, love the environmental nature of our car washes. You can see from the screen there's many different components of that. And we use all the latest technology in our car wash that is possible to acquire in today's market. That includes rainwater harvesting, the latest computer water monitored programs. We're also, if you compare water usage at home, the average person who washes a car in their driveway at home uses about 140 gallons of water. Per car here, we're at about 40 to 45 gallons. So it's a significant savings on water consumptions, and again, fits into the green policies of the different municipalities that we're working with. So, just to kind of recap, why is this a potential diversification option for retail investors? Again, we market this both to retail investors and institutional investors. Well, it's commercial real estate. And as everybody's talked about, real estate is a great segment. There's hard assets behind it. We find that it's still a fast-growing sector, and the private market has less volatility. So at the end of the day, investors investing in one of these projects is owning the land, the business, and that could be one or two operating businesses, and the cash flow that those businesses are generating. So there's really good security backing the investment. I didn't say it earlier, but our investment is structured in a tax advantaged manner, which is important. The less taxes we can pay, the better return on investment. So it's deemed return of capital in terms of our distributions back to client, which is tax favored. And again, then on exit, when we do exit, that gain that investors are seeing on capital appreciation is deemed a capital gain. So structured in a tax-favored mannerism, there's multiple sources of revenue driving an investor's profit, again, from the different locations. And we're pleased to say that, I talked about the team at the start. We've developed what we feel is a best-of-class operational team to execute on the day-to-day operations of these facilities. So we're just in BC as it stands today, and that's by design so that we can control and manage all our operations effectively with our team. There's risk factors, as with any investment. So please check the OM for that. Again, really quickly to wrap up, some of our team members and advisors. So from auditors to legal counsel, project management, architects, we've got what we consider some of the best of class design people and project management team bringing these to fruition in the marketplace, including our trustees and directors. So without further ado,